And we're the Twinchesters.
And this is our Doctor Who review for our segment, Once Upon a Superwho. And we watched the 5th episode of season 9, which was about Vikings.
Yes. It's called The Girl Who Died, so that's a lot of foreshadowing right there. And it starts off with Clara in space, like just kind of hanging out in space.
Yeah, that was the randomest beginning.
Yeah. It was a weird transition, but she's in the spacesuit, which is like a nice little nod to 10, because it's obviously his spacesuit. And then they wind up in the Viking era, and they get kidnapped by Vikings.
The Vikings are like, who are you? Come with us.
Yeah, and they break the sonic sunglasses. They're just like, snap!
That's what he gets for designing the
I know, that's why you have to have a sonic screwdriver, because you can't just snap that.
Yeah, that's impossible.
But when they return to the village, we finally get introduced to Maisie Williams' character, who plays Arya on Game of Thrones. I'm a huge fan, so I was really excited.
She was adorable.
Yes.
They're pretty much like, hey, you want to play the same exact character, but in Doctor Who?
Yeah, there are a lot of parallels between the two characters. She starts off a little quiet and shy, and then, so in order to get out of, being kidnapped by the Vikings, the Doctor decides he's going to pretend to be Odin.
And use yo-yos, because he's obsessed with yo-yos this season. This is like the third time he's put...
hey, you gotta do what you gotta do,
He's
man.
an old man. He doesn't know what's cool anymore.
So, of course, they're like, obviously you're not Odin, and in the middle of his whole speech about, well, how do you know if I'm not Odin? Another Odin pops up.
In the sky, it's just
From
like
the
a
sky,
giant face
giant Odin head. And he sends down his little minions and
to take the strong to Valhalla.
Yes, he takes the strongest of the village to Valhalla.
And Clara
and of course Clara
and
Maisie Williams' character, her name was Ashilda.
Ashilda, yes.
Or Ashilder, because we're
Ashilder.
American and don't have the cool accent that makes it sound like
Ashilda.
Ashilda. So they wind up getting, zapped up as well, because they have a piece of the sonic sunglasses, and that registers as really strong power, which is the whole point of these aliens, is that they're trying to consume all the power.
Yeah,
so,
once Clara and Isildur figure out that they're pretty much like, just taking all these strong guys' powers for themselves, Clara's like, do the reasonable thing. She's like, talk to them and try and calm them down, and of course Isildur comes in, I'll fight you! And I'm like, Tommy.
Yeah, she almost convinces the aliens to leave. She's like, you got the strongest, you're good to go, you don't need the rest of the village. And then in true Arya fashion,
Definitely,
Maisie Williams is like, no, we're gonna fight and we're gonna win. And now, cue the war between the Vikings and the aliens.
Yeah. The people that are left in the village are all like farmers and welders and
no idea what they're doing.
Zero clue. They haven't touched a sword. They haven't even looked at a sword. The doctor's like, I give up, and he tries to leave. He's like, they're gonna die. Goodbye.
Yep. And then he hears a baby.
And I forgot. I thought it was really cute. They brought back the fact that he could speak baby.
Yeah, it was really nice. And the baby actually wound up being the key to winning.
Yeah.
Because the baby was like, oh, I like the fire and the water. And it turns out they have a barrel full of electric eels, because that's very convenient. I don't know why Vikings would have a barrel full of electric eels.
This is after the doctor attempted to train them, because he hears the baby talking. He's like, I gotta say the baby. So he tries to, train these people. It's a cute little, like, Robin Hood type montage.
And then,
he gives up again. And then he's talking to Isildur, and he sees the baby, and he's like, wait a minute. The baby said something funny earlier.
Yes. And then that's when he discovers the electric eels. So here comes the day that, they're gonna fight the aliens, and through a series of electrical currents and magnets.
And imagination.
Maisie Williams' imagination, they wind up being able to defeat the aliens. But in the process,
they put this giant
this helmet thing
on her, and she imagines and she tells a story of a
dragon.
She imagines a dragon that's attacking the aliens,
head dude.
And the aliens can see it through their little glass, so all their things are connected. And when she sees it, it appears, but it looks like this it's just pretty much like a giant Viking ship thing.
Yeah, it's like a giant wood carving.
And they blackmail them. They're like, oh, we're going to show this to everybody. You're such wimps. Nobody's going to be scared of you anymore.
Yes. But in the process, Ashildr dies. And the Doctor is just devastated by it because he blames himself. You know, he put her in this situation. He's like, I used her up like a battery. And then he has like an epiphany.
Yeah.
He remembers why he chose his face after the regeneration.
I loved that bit.
Yes.
Because he's like going back and like looking at his face in the water, and he was like, I chose this face for a reason. And it flashes back to Donna, like, he's crying at 10. Save one person. If you can't save them all, just save one person.
Right.
And for you guys who don't remember, Peter Capaldi used to be on the show.
Well, he was
back with
one
10.
episode.
He was
in the Pompeii episode.
He was in the Pompeii episode, and David Tennant saves his character in the Pompeii episode, and that's why this Doctor feels he chose that face to remember to save people. That's what he does.
He's like, I'm the Doctor, I save people. So he uses one of the aliens, they call it a repair kit, and he places it on her forehead, and it winds up waking her up. And, so she's alive, she's safe.
And he gives her a second one all discreetly, and you're like,
yeah, he's like, oh, here, have another one. So when they're back on the TARDIS, Clara is like, you gave her a second one, why? And he's like, well, the repair kit is never going to stop working. I pretty much just made her immortal. And he's like, she's going to come across somebody that she can't bear to lose. And when she does, she can give them
I really
the second repair kit.
I really like that
so
because
she's not alone.
He knows what it's like to watch all the people that you love just die or leave you because they can't stand being with you because of the fact you live forever.
I think he says something. He's like, immortality isn't living forever. It's watching all the people you love die.
And he said, like, I should know, or so I've heard. Like,
like you know that he knows exactly
100%.
what it feels like.
And I'm very interested in the immortal thing because there's another immortal in this show that hasn't come back yet. Captain Jack.
Jack! Yes! Oh, I would.
Like, I'm curious if he's gonna. Back. If Maisie Williams' character sticks around for a while, if Ashildr, I keep saying Maisie Williams, if Ashildr's character sticks around for a while, maybe the Doctor will introduce her to Jack so, like, he could teach her and show her.
That would be a really good reason to bring Jack back. I mean, well, it's Jack, so any reason's good enough for me.
So, of course, it's another two-parter, because obviously Maisie Williams is in the next episode as well, but he sees her in a different time period.
Is it the next episode, like the exact next episode, or is it like...
No, this next episode, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Next episode.
I wasn't sure.
Because he runs into her again, but in a different time period.
Yes. So this is going to be interesting to see how she feels about the fact, that she's lived to see a whole new era.
Yeah, it's gonna be
because she was in the Viking era, and this kind of looked like a little Victorian.
Yeah.
So I want to see how she's gonna
feel. And the
Doctor's
Doctor's finally like figuring out himself, and he's going back to like the David Tennant like esque with like the caring and the I save people. This is what I do, and he's finally figuring out who he is as a doctor, and he's not he's telling himself that he's not the person that just ups and leaves people when they need him.
Well, throughout the whole episode, he was struggling with because he was trying to explain to Clara, he's like, I can't just go around saving everybody. He's like, there are rules. And then again, like the little montage of Pompeii and Donna literally begging Tennant she's like, I don't care if you don't save the whole town, just save somebody.
Yeah. And
Clara, she was kind of like a little bit of the reverse of that. She's like, you can't blame yourself for her dying. And then he's the one where it clicks, and he's like, no, like, I can save her. That's my job. That's who I am.
He's the Doctor.
But he's concerned about whether or not he just caused like a huge tidal wave in time.
Yeah, because he said we can make ripples, we just can't make tidal waves.
Right, and by making Ashildr immortal, that could really change.
He's adding an entirely new person to the course of history.
Yes.
Not just the course of Viking history, but the course of history in general.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same as Captain Jack,
Right. He basically brought back somebody that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what Maisie's character is going to do.
Yes, I really like her. Though I'm kind of mad they stuck her in Doctor Who and made her pretty much like a carbon copy of Arya Stark.
Well, they started her off that way, but you know, if the next time we see her, it's like hundreds of years in the future,
Yeah,
she
true.
could potentially be a completely changed person.
But like, if I was Maisie Williams, I'd be pretty mad. I'd be like, yes, I get to be in Doctor Who. I get to wear all these cool futuristic outfits. Oh, where are they gonna put me? Where are they gonna put me? The Vikingette, really? That's Game of Thrones. That's practically Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I mean, I get your point. You know, sword wielding.
Yeah.
Period clothing. It's basically, you know, Arya.
Alright guys, we would love to know what you guys thought about Doctor Who in the comments down below, and what do you guys think Maisie Williams' character is going to do in the next episode? Do you think she's going to live? All this stuff.
I can't wait to
It's
see.
exciting. Alright guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.